Up, awesome people of the internet. Guys, happy Monday. Hopefully you all are having a fan-freaking-tastic start to your day. Now, here's the thing. Women's college basketball is here, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, okay? First of all, we're going to talk about Tania Latson and why she is going to have an amazing year at South Carolina. After South Carolina started off their, had another exhibition game this past Friday. I'm going to talk about that. I'm also going to talk about some of the secret exhibition games that happened over the weekend as well, and also what we can tell about them, from USC being even more suspect than we thought to Penn State being exactly who we thought they were. We'll get into it. And also, the one story that has just about every single WNBA fan, WNBA player, and fellow WNBA coaches happy. What is that one story? We'll get into it shortly. Guys, Quita in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Okay. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's first start off by talking about some of the things that happened over the weekend, including some exhibition games. So remember, guys, WNBA season, the college basketball season for women gets started on November the 3rd. And so we got a couple of days until we get there, but there has to be some sort of like preseason. And for women's college basketball, preseason is exhibition games that are against either, D2 schools, Power 4 schools. Sometimes they are public exhibitions where fans can go in attendance. And sometimes they are private, behind closed doors exhibitions where you won't find the results unless Talia Goodman tells you what the result was. And I do have some updates courtesy of Talia Goodman. How does she always find all this information? Well, she's a college insider, so she knows the stuff. But she did report over the weekend that there was an exhibition game between Arizona State and USC. It was a secret scrimmage. And in that game, we saw Arizona State take down USC. Well, we didn't see it. It was in secret, but that was the result. 78 Arizona State, 76 USC. In terms of who did what, well, we don't know the scores, but we do know that that Jazzy Davidson was a standout for USC, and then we saw Gabby Elliott and Carrera were both standouts for Arizona State. A couple things to note, guys. USC is a team that has a lot of young talent, right? You're bringing in top recruits to this team. Next year you're going to have, again, top recruits to this team. USC is going to be a powerhouse come next year. This year, this team is not going to do that great. They're just not, right? They're just not. And so I want, for all the USC fans, you might as well just wait until Juju gets back. Because y'all ain't going to do that much, right? This is going to be a great year for Jazzy. I think she's going to really get her college legs under her, and everything is really going to get going next year. So, yeah, just a heads up for all the USC fans. Y'all are not going to be very good this year, and that's okay. All right? Y'all have 2027. That's going to be your year. Okay? That is going to be your year. 2027. Okay? Once Juju comes back, y'all gonna be good. Y'all gonna be good, okay? Tulip says USC will run the nation 2027 onward. Yeah. But this year, but Tulip also says they'll do better than you think. Quita, you're underestimating Jazzy and Kennedy. They can potentially make the Elite 8, Sweet 16 at least. I don't see it. I mean, Sweet 16 maybe. I mean, for sure they get past the round of 32, for sure. But to see them win in the Elite 8 and win in the Sweet 16 and move to the Elite 8, I don't know. I don't see it. Personally, I don't see it, but I could be wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong, okay? The beauty of us being at the start of the women's college basketball season is we have an opportunity to give predictions based on what we see currently. Right? Because this team, they got London Jones, who is a straight up shooter, right? She came right down the road from UCLA, right? They got Jazzy Davison, right? The elite freshman out of Oklahoma. I'm sorry, Oregon. I'm sorry, out of Oregon, right? You got Kennedy Smith, who defensively is pretty elite, and offensively can do some stuff, but definitely is going to have to step up even more on the offensive end this year. I think she's going to have a really good game, really good year, right? You have some good, really, really good players on this team. I just don't think they can do it without Juju carrying them, right? And so because of Juju's injury and because she's out this season, I personally don't see it. But Tulip, maybe you're right. I don't see it, though. I don't see it. All right. There were some other games that happened over the weekend as well. Another secret scrimmage as well. And that was between the new and improved Penn State versus hold on, let me find it. Other games include Richmond beat Virginia Tech in a secret scrimmage. Final score 72-64. We also saw Temple beat Penn State 77-70. A couple things to remember. This is the team where Kayomi McMiller is on. And so we'll see what Kayomi can do. Remember, guys, Kayomi was on, Rutgers last season? She entered the transfer portal, and now we'll just see kind of how she does on her new squad. I don't know. I have a lot of overall just question marks about Penn State and truly how good they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be that good, full transparency, but we'll see what happens. I wanted to mention that only because I feel like I did quite a bit of coverage on Kayomi McMiller last year, and so I wanted to just update you all on that game. We also saw a game that everyone was able to see and talk about, and that was the total domination that we saw on Friday, right? On Friday, we saw a lot of WNBA players at the South Carolina game. We saw Asia Wilson there, of course. We saw Tahina Pau there. I think she had a meet and greet at that game We saw Ryan Howard there, right? This was a game to be at, as South Carolina just easily took down Anderson. Like this wasn't that big of a game in terms of like competition wise. Like I mean, it was total domination, right? Final score was 112-31, right? Anderson didn't stand a chance, right? They only scored 2 points in the second quarter. Like, they didn't really stand a chance in this game. And South Carolina did what they were supposed to do. They totally dominated, right? They looked really, really, really good. Joyce Edwards was doing her thing, right? Medina, who they just got via the transfer portal, like she was doing her thing as well. Double for her, right? This South Carolina team looked really, really good. And one player I wanted to actually specifically talk about was Tania Latson. So Tania Latson, had a double-double, 14 points. I'm sorry, she scored in double figures. She had 14 points, made all the free throws. She's just getting warmed up with this South Carolina team. And I think that once she fully gets going, I think we better watch out. This is the same Tania Latson who was the nation's leading scorer last year, right? I don't know if y'all remember that, but like she was all that and a bag of chips last season. And there is a reason why the AP put Tania Latson on their preseason All-American list. They did it because she's a straight up baller. Like, straight up baller. Last season, we saw Tania Latson average 25.2 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, 4.6 assists per game, shot 45% from the field. She goes to a team where she was the end-all, be-all in a lot of ways. That's really what she was for her last 3 seasons with Florida State, right? This was someone who played around 30 minutes a game, someone who was needed and called upon time after time after time to knock down big buckets and to get this team going. Now, she leaves Florida State, goes to a significantly better South Carolina. She now goes from being the number 1 star of the show to one of many, right? She goes to a team that now has a better post presence. So it's not all about the guards. The post will make some noise and make some stuff happen, right? This is a team that has, in my opinion, the greatest college coach out there coaching. And this is a team where Tania and her game has to change. And she knows that, right? She went to South Carolina because she wanted to grow, right? She went to South Carolina because she wants to make sure her draft stock in the WNBA is as high as possible. She wants to show that, yeah, she can defend. She wants to show that she could do a little bit of everything, whatever it takes on the court, not just scoring. So, yes, Tania Latson, I think her numbers will suffer this year from being at South Carolina. I don't think she's averaging 25.2 points per game. I don't see it, personally. But I do believe that Tania Latson will be a NCAA All-American this year. I do believe that she is going to that she is going to average probably right around 17-ish points once she really gets her footing in. And she is going to help South Carolina be one of the toughest teams to beat, not just in the SEC, but in the country as a whole. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with her. But I got to tell you, I am personally very, very much excited to see Tania Latson really, really get comfortable. Right? Because once she really gets comfortable, oh, you better watch out. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Because it's Santa Claus is coming to town. South Carolina is coming to your town, and Tania Latson is about to dominate. So I'm just saying. I am just saying. On to some other news that I wanted to talk about real quick. And it relates to UCLA freshman Sienna Betts. Sienna Betts is the sister of Lauren Betts. And unfortunately for her and unfortunately for UCLA, Sienna Betts is going to be out for a while. A significant while. She did end up injuring her left leg in a scrimmage, and she's in a walking boot. And you all know that, if someone's in a walking boot, that means they're probably going to be out at least a couple weeks. But as of right now, it has not been reported how long she might be out. And so, again, she did injure herself during a scrimmage. And we don't know of a timeline. But I would say personally, I would probably give it around at least a month, probably more. Likely more than a month. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Sienna Betts for 2 months. Maybe longer. Because here's the thing, Sienna Betts is first of all, she's flat out amazing in high school. She's going to be playing with her sister in college. And UCLA has a significant chance of actually winning the national championship this year. Like this is their chance this year. And if I'm Corey Close, if I'm on the staff at UCLA, I'm not having Sienna return unless she is 100% good to go. Right? I'm personally not doing it. I'm not doing it. So it would behoove the UCLA to just have her out for 2 months. If she needs to be out for 3 months, okay, have her out for 3 months. But you really, 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 really need to make sure she is fully healthy. I'm just saying, okay? So, yeah. But again, Sienna Betts is in a walking boot. And they haven't said exactly how long she's going to be out. I'm anticipating maybe minimum month, 2 months, maybe even 3. Because, yeah. Her and her sister are going to be elite together. And while we won't be able to watch them play together right now, it's going to be something to look forward to in the future. So yeah. This UCLA team will not start off the season at full strength. I think that's okay. They'll be able to work that out and it'll be fine. But yeah, I just wanted to give you all that update because I thought it was important to say. Okay. Sai saying Corey Close doing her Stephanie White impression, not giving much details. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Sienna is injured. Okay. It is an absolute bummer. Yes, absolute bummer. But again, injuries happen, guys, right? We've seen several injuries so far this college season, and the season hasn't even started yet because injuries are a part of sports. It is what it is. It just happens, right? It just happens. You had D. Alexander for Cincinnati. She's out for the entire first half of the season because she got hurt. Right? And so, yeah. We'll see what happens. King K says, don't sell Oklahoma short. Aaliyah Chavez could be freshman of the year. I just can't wait to see her play in a regular season game. Like I tell you, Oklahoma is going to be a team that I'm gonna watch probably. I'm gonna watch almost every single game they play this year because I really just want to see her play. I really want to see, because again, in high school she was a baller, but she is a bit short. Well, not really, but kind of. And so again, what does her women's college basketball season look like? I don't know. All I know is I'm excited to watch her play. I am very much excited to watch her play. Okay? I am just saying. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic that I am personally very excited about. It's one of the rare times in WNBA news that we hear something that makes everybody happy, right? In the last several weeks, several months in the WNBA, it's been a lot of negativity, right? It's about the drama between Kathy Engelbert and the players, most notably Nafisa Collier. It's about the CBA negotiations that are seemingly continuing to go south and be, hammered out in the court of public opinion. We've seen injuries be a absolutely huge thing this year in the WNBA, right? Referees, the complaints continue to get louder and louder and louder. And it seemed like a lot of just negative stuff, just like a lot of terrible, terrible stuff. And people are just saying, I'm tired of hearing about the WNBA because it's always something bad. But I got something for you guys. I got some fantastic news that has seemingly united everybody who's talked about this situation. And it involves Sonia Raman, because Sonia Raman is now the new head coach of the Seattle Storm. And guys, everybody seems to be super, super excited about this information, right? Sonia Raman is a beloved person in women's basketball, men's basketball, you name it. She is absolutely amazing, right? This is someone who has the experience to be a head coach and has the personality where a ton of people, from WNBA players, fans, NBA players, all saying, yes, this was a great decision. This was a great decision, right? This is someone who coached very, very smart people. Right? She was the head coach of MIT, which I didn't realize MIT had I didn't realize that MIT had a women's basketball team, but they do. Right? She coached their women's basketball team. Had the most wins in team history. She was a assistant coach for the Memphis Grizzlies. Right, the first woman assistant coach of Indian descent in the NBA. Right. She was with the Memphis Grizzlies for a long time as an assistant coach. And then she recently joined, this past year, she joined the New York Liberty coaching staff as an assistant coach to Sandy Brondello. And throughout the season, even before the season started, I just heard fantastic stuff about her. Right? And after the season was over and the New York Liberty got rid of Sandy Brondello, there was a lot of speculation of, is Sonia going to be moved up to the head coaching position for the New York Liberty? Like, is she going to be the new head coach of the Liberty? And honestly, if she would have, I thought that would have been a good decision. But it's too late for New York because the Seattle Storm, who recently got rid of Noelle Quinn, said, you know what? Let's pick up Sonia Raman. Let's pick her up as our new head coach. And so, introducing Seattle Storm, your new head coach. And I got to say, I love this decision for a lot of ways. Here's the thing. You all know the trend in the WNBA. A trend in the WNBA is get coaches with NBA experience, right? That really started in earnest when Becky Hammon was hired with the Las Vegas Aces. Now see what she's done, right? 3 WNBA championships in 4 years, right? You see that? You see how successful that has been, right? You see, and you see that continue, right? Nate Tibbetts, NBA experience. You look at Golden State. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on her name. She has NBA experience. Oh my goodness. I forgot. Anyway, NBA experience in terms of coaching is incredibly important. And in a lot of ways, having NBA experience seems to be a leg up for coaches who want to go into the WNBA. Now, does everyone have to have NBA experience? No, right? Lynn Roberts doesn't have NBA experience, right? She was a long-time college coach, right? Carl Semesco, as far as I can understand, doesn't have NBA experience. He's women's college basketball, right? Jose Fernandez, he doesn't have NBA experience. He's been a long-time women's college basketball coach. But it seems like the trend is you either need to have NBA coaching experience or you need to be a long-time women's college basketball coach. Those are the two types of people who are getting hired in the WNBA. Those are the only two types. And Sonia Raman, she has 4 years of experience with the Memphis Grizzlies? Like, this is not a just regular person. She's a winner. She knows how to make an impact, right? And everybody has a lot of faith that she's going to be able to do her job and do her job really well. And personally, guys, I'm super excited about it. I am really, really, really excited about this move. Because this is someone who, Tulip, Ja congratulated her. Some of the other players that she coached at Memphis, they congratulated her as well, because again, this is someone who has transcended what probably some people expected from her, right? Again, as a player, She played at Tufts as a player, right? It's not even a. I don't even think at the time that was a D1 school. Wasn't even. But she played in college, not for a great team or anything like that. She then goes to coaching, where she coaches MIT, and they start to be really, really, really good, right? She was a coach for MIT for over a decade. Finishes as the all-time wins leader, right? She then goes to the NBA, goes to the WNBA for the New York Liberty, and now she's the head coach for Seattle. Talk about, changes, right? I think this is very cool, very exciting. I have seen no one, absolutely nobody, say anything bad about this decision, because it's a great decision. So shout out to Sonia Raman. Shout out to you. Hey, here's the hoping that you transform Seattle, because Seattle needs it real bad. I will say that this is probably going to be a thing where now it's a question mark of, okay, well, who stays in Seattle? What players stay, right? This is one of those situations where now we're like, okay, is NECA staying on this team? Is Skylar staying on this team? Or does Sonia want to completely just form her team from scratch? Right? Right? And so, yeah. W. Bazil says she's a nerd. I hope players don't stuff her in the lockers like they did me. Here's the thing. Yeah, she coached MIT. Like those are some smart ladies playing some basketball at MIT, and she was able to hold her own with the very, very intellectual people at MIT. And then she goes to Memphis, does her thing there, goes to the WNBA. Again, I love this. Shout out to the Seattle Storm for making this W of a hire and literally uniting just about all of women's sports who are happy and excited that that Sonia Raman has gotten hired. So again, I thought this was cool and I want to talk about it. So again, shout out to Sonia Raman for that. And I think she's going to do a good job at Seattle. I'm excited to see what she can do. But W hire. So a lot of positions have been filled already, and now we just have to worry about, okay, well, who in the world is getting that New York Liberty position? Who are they hiring now? Like, I think that's a giant question. Who in the world are they hiring? Right? Who? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think this is going to be very interesting. I got to tell you that. With the trend of things, New York is probably going to a former NBA coach, NBA assistant coach. But I don't know, man. Because I thought Sonia probably would have been a good pick for New York. Who does New York pick? Who? Right? And so, yeah. Con Lenny says, I thought Sonia Raman would have been a good candidate for the New York Liberty job. Their GM, Jonathan Colby, probably wanted somebody who, in my opinion, was not linked to Sandy Brondello. Maybe. Tulip says Breon January and Christy Tolliver deserve a head coaching job. I gotta say this. Yes. Here's the thing. Specifically those two. Because to me, those two are some of the best assistant coaches in the WNBA. And honestly, I'm super heavily rooting for one of them or both of them to be a head coach in the WNBA because it's not a thing where, okay, someone's a former player, so they should automatically get a head coaching position. That's not what I'm saying. But to me, I think those two in particular have earned their dues in terms of being a longstanding assistant coaches that I've kind of been able to experience a whole lot, right? Because remember, when we talk about Christy Tolliver, this is someone who has a lot of coaching experience, right? Remember, she started off as an assistant coach with the Washington Wizards, then went on to the Dallas Mavericks, now is with the Phoenix Mercury. Like, again, you're talking about somebody who has a lot of NBA coaching experience as an assistant. And so, yes, if you're looking at the idea of, oh, the WNBA wants to hire NBA coaches, Christy Tolliver has done it for two different teams, right? The Washington Wizards and the Dallas Mavericks, right? And she's been doing her thing with Phoenix. And so, yes, Christy Tolliver, I think, is someone who should be up on that list, 100%. I think you're totally right. I think you are totally right. And then when we talk about a player like a Breon January, right? This is someone who, does not have that sort of NBA experience, but this is someone who was briefly a college coach for a little bit, was on the Connecticut Sun bench, right? This is also someone who has some G League experience. And so while she didn't coach in the NBA, Breon January coached in the G League for a little bit. And now she's with the Indiana Fever. So, yes, I would love for one of these coaches to get a head coaching job in the WNBA. Not for New York, though. I think New York is, whoever gets hired for this New York job is on a thin bench. This person, if they don't find success in New York, they're going to get fired in about a year or two, right? I think New York is a hard market, and I don't want either of them being the head coach in New York. I really don't. I really, really don't. Because I think whoever gets this job in New York, they're going to have a hard time. And meaning the pressure on them is going to be very tough. Like, personally, I would love for as we get these additional teams, like, I would love for them to be able to start fresh with one of those teams, right? In Cleveland or or Philly, or what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be really cool and beneficial. So no, I would not want either of them to get the New York position. Ronald says January wants to stay in Indiana and help win a championship. Steph wants to keep her on her staff. I mean, yeah, of course Steph wants to keep her because Breon January is great at her job. But I mean, head coach, assistant coach. I mean, I feel like head coach kind of outweighs everything. But yeah. And we'll see. We will see. Quentin says extra scrutinized. Here's the thing. I think when it comes to sports, New York coaches, there's just an extra spotlight. I just think there's an extra spotlight. And I think there is a sense that, they're going to panic faster and whatnot. Here's the thing. Sandy Brondello really shouldn't have got fired. But I think it's partially because of that sort of New York pressure of, of a thing where New York, they want to win. They want to be the best at all times. And so do I think that if Sandy was in the same position somewhere else outside of New York, would she have gotten fired? I don't think so. And so, yeah, I think New York is unforgiving in that way. Nancy says Sandy was under pressure in the beginning too. There have been so many New York coaches who have been fired. Yeah, I think it's just tough. Like, yeah. I wouldn't put one of my favorite coaches in New York. Like, I just wouldn't. Because, yeah, I think it'll be tough. Nancy says New York will regret that firing. I think some free agents will flee because of it. Possibly. Yeah. Possibly. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's the news for today. Just wanted to give y'all that info. Thank y'all for watching as per usual. Thanks for being just amazing. If there's any other stories that you all are interested in me talking about, well, let me know, and I'll try to get to them tomorrow. But again, we are in women's college basketball season, so the majority of the stories will be about college basketball, but occasionally there'll be some WNBA stuff I want to talk about as well, so we'll see how all the rest of the coaching stuff kind of shakes out. But yeah, man. Anyway, controversial question, which I shouldn't answer, but I'm gonna answer it. Quintus says, would Cheryl Reeve be fired at New York? Here's the thing. Cheryl Reeve, in my opinion, is is an elite coach in the WNBA. One of the best coaches that we've had in WNBA history. This is someone who has taken teams that had no business going to the playoffs, let alone far in the playoffs. She's done that. Now, while the dynasty is over with the Maya Moore and Simone Augustus and Sylvia Fowles days, Lindsay Whalen, those days are over, right? But I do think that because she's in Minnesota, there is some sort of insulation into the culture that she has built. And there is some forgiveness if things don't turn out the way that they want it to. Here's the thing. The reason why Cheryl Reeve is as excellent of a coach as she is, one is just because she's really good at her job, and she, for a long time, was the GM as well for the Minnesota Lynx, and so that's a thing as well. But also because of the sort of leash that Minnesota has given her. If she was in New York, I think there would have been way more pressure after the dynasty days were over. Way more pressure. And do I think she still would have been the coach? Probably not. Because to me, I feel like New York sometimes does move on from coaches faster than they really should. Cheryl Reeve is excellent. And if I'm Cheryl Reeve, I'm never leaving Minnesota. Because what she has built and how unique of a place Minnesota is, it really is kind of like a family environment, with the former owners. Now, we'll see what Alex Rodriguez and his folks kind of do. The new owners of the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Lynx. We'll see what they do. But the old guard of Minnesota was very much family and trust and whatnot, and we see the results of really how good and how competitive Minnesota has been year upon year upon year upon year. But I really do think that if she was in New York, Like, they probably would have been like, okay, yeah, you're consistently, making stuff happen, but, we want to do this, or I'm just saying, probably wouldn't have lasted as long in New York. But again, I think New York is a different beast, and I, for one, wouldn't put my favorite coach in New York. I wouldn't. I would not put my favorite coach in New York at all, because they got a very, very short leash, and they might be out of there. I'm just saying. I think that's my opinion. It's my opinion. But yeah, maybe controversial. Maybe some people are going to be like, what? You're crazy, Quita. Of course. She would have been fine in New York. She would have lasted just as long in New York. I don't think so, personally. But we'll see. Well, we won't see, because Cheryl Reeve is never leaving Minnesota. Like, that's just not happening. And Minnesota, I don't see Minnesota ever getting rid of Cheryl Reeve. Ever, ever, ever. She's going to retire as the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx. I truly believe that. Right? I truly, truly believe that. Because she is elite. Elite of a coach. Okay? Anyway, that's the stream. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button. Princess is looking Miss President. So let me go ahead. Let me go and stop her. All right. I'll see y'all in the next one. And yes, listen to Kentucky Rick and hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. All right, y'all want to see Miss President before? Or nah, not Miss President. He's gonna run away. Y'all want to see Princess before we go? Hold on. Let me show Princess. She needs a haircut, but here she is. Hold on, Princess. Let me move Sonia Raman out the way. See? She needs a haircut pretty bad. Her hair grows really, really fast. Like, don't lick me. Her hair grows really, really, really fast, okay? And she can't hear anymore, so, that's her. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I will see y'all in the next one tomorrow. So long, farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now until we meet again. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set.